Welcome to Monster Budgets. Today what we are working on is our paycheck budget breakdown, looking at April 29th through May 12th. I'm going to show you how to use the expense tracker sheets and how to put that information onto your paycheck budget breakdown. Our income, I always just use round numbers on these sheets because it's a lot easier for calculating. For me, it was $1,770. My husband, we did bring over $300 on, I think it was like the Monday before. So you don't see me putting it in because it was already sitting in the account, but we did bring over the 300. The difference here you will see is that we did get more step-up money than we anticipated. So we do need to note that in our actual. So I'm gonna put 490. And then let's update this. $2,560. All right, so that is how much money we are working with in this paycheck budget tracker. All right. Everything came out as normal for these bills. I do know like my water bill, my energy bill, the student loans, all of that, because I do check them before I put them on this calendar, so I know exactly what they will be. The only thing that did come out differently is the speech therapy and occupational therapy for my son. My brain can't do too many things at once, sorry. Focus here. Duke, Adobe, okay. The speech therapy and occupational therapy, it ended up being $320. I got the quote and then my husband paid the bill the week later, so we were gonna be off by a little bit. So $320 is what we did pay towards speech and occupational therapy. All right, I don't add this up first only because sometimes we do have additional expenses that I don't think about and I didn't put in here, so I'll add them here later, and I always like to check that through my expense trackers. Everything out of my bill account is this top part, so like the medical insurance, the work, AT&T, the water bill, Duke. So everything up here I know is going to come up from up here. I've already done the Mohela loan and the DOE loan. We did put an extra $100 towards debt. We are really trying to tackle this Department of Education loan. I did not budget for it, so I leave that blank, but we did put $100 extra towards that. So I am done with that page. I'm just gonna focus on our Chase credit card and our Capital One credit card. I know a lot of people on these budgeting channels are cash stuffers. They use cash envelopes. You guys do like your Monday minis and your Tiny Tuesdays. My ADHD rattled brain cannot focus on all of that money movement. I tried back when I first started following the Budget Mom in 2018. I was trying to do all those savings challenges and I could not reconcile my budget at the end of every month because I was moving money from envelope to envelope. I was losing receipts. And then my husband and I do both the shopping for the house. So he might have bought like pet food, but I had the pet envelope, so we didn't have money for it. So we were constantly transitioning money from envelope to envelope. And my budget was never accurate. I could not reconcile a budget. So we just do everything on a credit card. We do not have any consumer credit card debt. All of our debt is student loan. So we just spend and then we pay it off. Spend, pay it off. You can see here on our expense tracker, credit card payment, credit card payment, credit card payment, credit card. So like as we're spending, I am just paying it off. So our bill, our credit card bill is May 11th, but we had already paid all that off. So our next credit card bill isn't until June 11th. And again, we're already starting to pay down some of those credit card statements. So that is how I do it. And that's a little insight into my brain. It was too much. So we do this, and then we utilize all of our credit card points for vacation. Okay. Sorry, that was a very long explanation to just tell you we're going to do it based off credit card stuff. All right, first category we're going to look at is grocery. Grocery is my dark green. So I'm going to look at that one and this one actually. Guys, I hole punched this so horribly and I hate it. All right, I'm just going to do this because that'll be easier. All right, so I have the 258 here and then my dark green here, 64.98. Nope. Plus 3 because I did 61. 316.26. So our grocery bill was actually $317. Again, I round. On my end of month closeout, everything is an exact amount, but on these budget tracking sheets, the goal is to just understand where my paycheck money went, and I can do that with the rounded numbers. All right, eating out is my light green color, 123.27, so 124. Kids is this light blue, which I can see it's just 14. Car is this dark blue, 43. But I can already tell because this one was so low, our next car bill is going to be outrageous. All right, fun is a hot pink color. It's this lovely hot pink. We had none. Home is yellow. Health and beauty is this one, so 34 plus 20, so 54.82. And I know it's because we ended up doing almost $35 worth of sunscreen. And then Target got me. In Target, if you spent $30, you got a $5 Target gift card. But also on Fetch, if you spent $50 through like any of these 11 different beauty brands, you got like 4,500 points. And we were all out of our body wash, our shampoo, deodorant. So this was just perfect timing. So I spent a lot of money on like an Olay face cream, body wash, shampoo, everything. And if it is like, this is my Olay face cream, everything else goes in groceries down here for Target. But I did that, we got everything we needed, and I got 4,500 Fetch points, so that's why it went higher than expected. Hilda the cat, we did $35. My husband spent no money. I am this light purple. I just got this nail set. I'm a big sticker nail person. I can't paint my nails for the life of me, but I do love a good sticker nail. And this like brand that I love, they last for a week or two perfectly before I peel them off. So I'm a big advocate of this nail brand. Round up. As always, use an erasable pen. It will save you. Miscellaneous is this blue color, which was $8 for this pen carousel off Amazon. All right, now let's add them up. Whoops. 17 plus 1, 24 plus 14 plus 43 plus 9 plus 8 equals 637. We did way better this month than I anticipated. Okay. Now let's make sure. All right, so I have work. This is a work category, this $15. Union is a work category. Google is not a work category. So I need to add that on here. That was something new that my husband added for work. It was not budgeted for, so I leave it blank. It is in the actual column. Medical. This medical I accounted for. I needed some more Excedrin migraine medicine, and I did not account for that, so I need to put that on here. So medical, I did not account for that. $9. Also, your girl forgot to budget for teacher appreciation, even though I'm a teacher. I know, I did not think. So we did some gift cards and used a 10% off. So that's gonna go under gifts. 19. And then Mother's Day, I found like a nature tea walk where you like walk out around some gardens and they show you a bunch of like herbal plants and then you make teas from those plants. And I really wanted that, so I made that my Mother's Day gift. So again, we did not account for that. And I think that's everything I did not account for, because everything else was in its category. Let me double check. Beep, beep. Yep, okay. So I know how much this is. Now I'm gonna add all of this up. $39, $114, $33, $15. This seems way off. We are not at 4,000. Okay, hold on. This is a really cute calculator, but it is either it's not good or my fingers aren't good, which is also highly possible. Plus 33 plus 15 plus 320, 3, 9, 19, 38. Okay. 1,471. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and start deducting, because everything, I know absolutely everything is accounted for in this, in these trackers. So now I'm going to subtract this $1,089. That's what's going to go over here in my actual. Now I'm going to subtract 637. I'm left with 452. I'm going to bring my 452 over here, my 100. Then I'm left with 352. 352. Normally I would go over here to sinking funds. However, I was looking at my budget that I'm planning for next week, and I should actually have enough money left over to complete that sinking fund, so I'm not going to worry about this. I am going to leave this in the cushion. Here's why. For those of you that have been following along, you guys do know our son has some disabilities, so he has autism, and along with that he also has expressive and receptive language communication disorder, which is like a really fancy way of saying he's speech delayed. So his speech is that of about a 2-year-old right now. It's just like the beginning and the ending of words kind of doesn't exist, the middle of the word he says, so it's kind of hard to understand him. We do have money for speech and language. We did do that. Speech therapy has told us that we are going to get an AAC device, which if you've ever seen, it's like those iPads, but it's all for communication. And that we got the bill after insurance. We're expected to pay $1,400 out of pocket. And we did apply for a scholarship, basically a Help Us I'm Poor scholarship. So we're gonna see. So I'm gonna set this money aside for that AAC device in case, to just in case it doesn't cover it all, or we have to pay some unexpected money out of pocket. I don't want to not have that money and have to put it on a credit card, and then we're eating all of our cushion. So that's where we are at. We did make an extra debt. We did do better in a lot of our categories. We are currently sitting at about $400 in the bank. So that is my checking account cushion. So when I'm saying my cushion, that's what I mean. We were at about a $50 cushion. This is just sitting in here as our cushion to be used in case we need it for this new device that we are getting for my son to help him with his speech and communication. If you liked it, please follow along, like, comment, subscribe, the whole deal. If you do like my trackers, I do have a Ko-fi account where I've got them on there. I do have that linked in my bio. But thank you guys so much for everybody who is following along and being a part of our budgeting journey. I really do appreciate it.